Mike McDaniel is riding a razor's edge. His reign in Miami? It's hanging by a thread because, let's be honest, it's got to change, and fast. The Dolphins haven't sniffed a playoff win this century, and that sting makes the pressure cooker feel more like a pressure volcano ready to blow. The fan base is fed up, and McDaniel's been dancing on thin ice since the clock struck midnight on January 1st, 2000. Now, let's talk about those trades, the kind that rip the Band-Aid off in public. When you deal Jalen Ramsey, a top-tier DB signed to a $24 million extension, to Pittsburgh, alarms go off. The uproar wasn't subtle. Two-time Super Bowl champ Asante Samuel Sr. didn't even bother hiding his venom. He said there was no leadership in the Dolphins organization, called McDaniel a pushover, and flat-out said GM Chris Grier has no backbone. Ouch. That cuts deeper than a corner blitz. McDaniel's approach? Player-friendly, locker-room cozy. Tua Tagovailoa's ride or die. That's great if you want camaraderie. Not so great if you want rings. Since he got here, Tua's loyalty has been locked in. But where are the wins when it matters, when the lights are brightest in January? The Dolphins limped to an 8-9 record in 2024. That postseason flop didn't just disappoint. It invited a swarm of questions. ESPN's Louis Riddick put it bluntly. Miami is the very definition of uncertainty going into 2025. Think about that. When the loudest names in the game sum you up like that, you've got work to do. That uncertainty, it doesn't just come from the schedule. It's internal. The Ramsey trade didn't just move a player, it exposed fault lines. Samuel Sr. argued McDaniel and Grier failed to sell Ramsey on a believable championship vision. Sounds like a failure of persuasion, but maybe it's more. Maybe the locker room vibe isn't as tight as McDaniel's soundbites. Rumors about Jonnu Smith, shipped out not long ago, whisper of dysfunction. And dysfunction in a place that prioritizes feel-good vibes. That's a rough setup. Off the field, fan frustration is bubbling into a slow-burn revolt. Owner Stephen Ross, often MIA when he gets heavy. But the buck stops with him. If McDaniel doesn't deliver a playoff breakthrough, not just a wild-card blip, but a real postseason tear through the bracket, whispers about ownership apathy will get louder. And when owner and coach are out of sync, that's when the foundation starts shaking. For seasons in, and McDaniel's record is mixed. That's putting it kindly. A lot of flair, but no finality. Analysts across the board are saying, wildcard won't cut it. Fans want at least a divisional round assault. Anything less, and you're igniting a riot. It's not ideal, it's not cushy, and it's not in McDaniel's comfort zone, but it's what's expected. Time to swap the feel-good speeches for results. Nobody doubts the talent is there. But talent without toughness, that's a liability. The Athletic recently noted rival coaches see Miami as talented but soft. That's like being told you're a thoroughbred stuck at the gate. How do you prove your horsepower? You break through. You show it. McDaniel's offense is fluid, creative, and has muscled its way into the NFL conversation. But play calling isn't enough if calls don't translate into wins in January. Let's lay it out. Monday Night Magic and crafty runs hurtless. The problem arrives when you need a stall breaker, a game-changer in cold January wind. Can McDaniel pivot from entertaining regular season stunts to playoff brawls? That's the million-dollar question. And it's not just about scheme. It's about culture. The grit, the leadership, the internal coach, player calibration that snaps when the whistles come. Was letting Ramsey go a blow for culture? Maybe. Or maybe it was a signal. You're not irreplaceable. But honestly, that cut two ways. Fans saw it as cutting depth, not callers, cutting heart. The message, we're not chasing rings, we're chasing style. But in this league, style without substance is a fast track to obscurity. Stephen Ross's absenteeism doesn't help. Owners lead or step out of the way. The silence from the top can echo louder than the noise in the stands. McDaniel needs that backing, loud, unquestioned, unambiguous. But he's also got to give something back. A playoff performance that sizzles, not sputters. Picture this. A Dolphins team that's mean in February, that brings the fight when the cold sets in, and that won't dissolve under the TV lights. Build civil war in locker rooms? Remove easygoing vibes? Maybe. But maybe that's how you grow thicker skin. And there's the AFC East. Buffalo, New England, the rising Patriots buzz, and the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. This is a brutal neighborhood. You can't pet koalas here. You need armor. McDaniel's innovative offense is nice, but is it NFL East proof? Critique says it's elegant on grass, soft on ice. That's a problem unless he adds steel.